Hey there, what's going on? This is Gaurav Datta, your host for today's episode. This is the first episode in the series The Art Venture Vodcast. Here I will be interviewing brilliant artists, national and international, and taking their insights. And our today's guest is Ben Mitchell from the New Zealand. Ben is a phenomenal artist and his works are so inspiring and those works are inspired by the landscape and nature of New Zealand. So let's see what are his painting style and what he has for us on his bucket. And so let's jump into the podcast content. So here are some of the paintings done by Ben Mitchell. I am pretty impressed by his work, and I'm pretty sure that you are also very impressed. He paints so beautifully. There is so much passion in his paintings. I love them. So let's join in a conversation with Ben Mitchell. Welcome to the Art Venture Podcast, Ben Mitchell.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. It's really, really, really good to be here.
All right. So our first question to you is, how did you begin your artist journey? I mean, from which age you started painting and all those stuff?
Righto, okay. Well, I grew up in some islands called Christmas Island.
Okay.
That was one of the islands, and another island called Norfolk Island. And did a bit of art in those places, just like a regular kid would, just a bit of drawing, bit of painting. But it was only until I moved to Dunedin, which is in the South Island of New Zealand,
Okay.
where I had some really good high school art teachers. I took it as a class, and that probably started my obsession with art.
So you are self-taught. You didn't went to art school or didn't take any professional art training, did you?
Yeah, I guess if that's your definition of like a professional as a self-taught artist, then yeah, I'm not. I am self-taught, but you learn so much from other people that it's kind of doesn't feel quite right to call yourself.
Yeah,
self-taught.
actually, in the world, the definition of self-taught is that if you didn't went to any art school or colleges, then you're self-taught.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. So, what and who the other persons or the artist inspired you to go in this journey?
So yeah, I did have some really good teachers. One of my art teachers, a guy called Bryn Jones, he's a reasonably famous sculptor. So he works a lot with bronze. So for example, if you go to Mount Cook National Park, and there's this hotel called the Hermitage, and it's a 5-star hotel, and at the front of it, there's this sculpture of a famous mountaineer called Edmund Hillary.
Edmund Hillary, yeah.
He's looking up towards Mount Cook, which is the biggest mountain in New Zealand, and he's holding an ice axe, and he's got a rope over his back. And I found out when I went to the school that my art teacher at that school actually made it, and so that was hugely inspiring because I was getting taught by him, and we seem to get on really, really well.
There is a sculpture of Edmund Hillary near the Mount Everest.
Yeah, totally. He's really well known there. Yeah, he's got a bit of a history.
Yeah.
So that was definitely one of my inspirations. And there was another teacher called Glenn Clark. He was another inspiration. And now pretty much, you've got your phone, you've got Instagram. There's just so many people who just pop up, and you just get mind blown every day by the things that people produce, like Andrew Tischler or Renato Machilo, and so it goes on forever.
Yeah. So why do you paint with oils most of the time? Have you ever tried the other mediums?
I really like how long they take to dry. So with acrylic, you've got them on your palette, and pretty quickly it's already dry and you can't work with them anymore. Or you'll even put it on the canvas, and in a few minutes it's already dry. So that makes blending really hard. That's one of the reasons I really like oil, the ability to blend. And obviously it's nice that if if you mix a color, it's going to be there the next day, especially with the paints that I use. They're called Geneva paints. They take about 10 days to dry. So that's really nice as well.
Do you like to use that medium that Winsor Newton produces, liquid? It fastens the drying time.
Yeah, I do find like that 10-day period is just a bit too long for me, so I like to add the liquid to kind of cut that time down, but also to allow me to paint in layers. I used to just paint in one layer, but now I'm seeing the benefits of doing multiple layers and creating some effects with that, which is where liquid is really helpful, because it's just so easy. You just add the same amount every time.
That's right. I find personally that the medium acrylic as a medium I don't prefer, because it's not much versatile as watercolor, nor it is like the oils. It's so, I don't know, bad. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, but you still see artists doing amazing
Amazing, yeah.
Right?
That's why I get astonished. I always ask the acrylic artists, how do they manage to do those?
Yeah, like Carly Grace, for example.
Okay, so from how many years have you been painting?
Well, probably first picked up a paintbrush and actually tried to make something good. That was maybe, let's say 5 years ago. And then more seriously about three or 4 years ago. And then even more seriously, the last few years. So I'm getting more and more into it, yeah.
Okay. So, did the New Zealand nature or the landscape there inspire you?
Yes, but not to start with. Like,
okay.
When I first came to New Zealand, my family, they took us tramping, which is, or you might call it hiking in other places. So we go into the mountains and we'd stay in huts and do all these walks. And we'd take photos. And it's an amazing place to live. And it was, a really cool thing to do. But I never really had any desire to paint or draw those things.
Okay.
And it's only recently when I've gotten quite a bit better at painting and drawing, and also when I've been a bit more motivated to improve my climbing, and that I've decided that I really want to go into these places that not many people can go into and paint things. So totally, 100%. Nature in New Zealand is inspiring me at the moment. That's pretty much all I'm doing at the moment, landscapes.
So then I will just recording again. So yeah.
Did it not record?
No, it was recorded. No. This thing is so bad, If you are not a tech freak these days, it's so bad for you.
Yep. You're so young though. You should be like, a tech whiz.
Yeah. What is your dream in the future?
I've got a few dreams. In terms of art, I kind of just want to get better.
That's the dream of every artist, yeah. And do you want to live your life just as an artist, or you want to become something else? I know it's very hard to tell.
Decided. I'm quite a fan of having like a backup plan. So at the moment, I'd really like to be an artist in the future, but I think it's really important to have something a bit more stable to start with, and then you kind of transition.
Yeah,
being an artist.
I've had the opportunity to talk with many artists internationally, and they all have said the same thing, that they always had a backup plan. I mean, they were not full-time artists from the beginning.
Yeah.
You always need to have a backup plan.
And you hear about... What was that?
What?
What did you say?
They always need to have a backup plan. before they start
Yeah.
their journey as a full-time artist.
Yeah.
Actually, now is the best time to become an artist. Previously, in the Renaissance period or pre-Renaissance period, or you check the 20th century, the artists didn't have so much opportunity. YouTube, Instagram, they can earn money from several places. They can do
Yeah.
online workshops. Now is the best time to be as an artist. But every generation has their own pros and cons. That's why.
Doesn't mean it's easy to be an artist, though.
That's that.
It's still a really challenging career to try
Yeah.
to pursue.
And I've seen pretty many people. Their art is just horrible, and they have got so much success. And
That's the thing, though, right? Art is subjective. Beauty in the beholder.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're just better at reaching their right buyers.
So now I'm going to ask you a very important question according to me. Why do you take realism?
Well, I like the skill involved with realism. Like, you look at a painting, and if it looks quite like a photo, then it's really hard not to be impressed by that.
That's true.
And by the skill involved with that. But if you look at like an abstract painting, it's often quite easy to imagine that you could have done it yourself, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at a painting and think, man, how did they do that? Then that's what I find more interesting to me.
That's interesting to me too. And there's a small story, but the story says that there was an artist in Bengal. So he was not so much famous and not up to the abstract, the mid-20th century. They were talking about the abstract and the cubism, modern art, all this stuff. He was not up to that. He was up to realism, the Renaissance and pre-Renaissance period styles by the masters, Rembrandt, Leonardo, like that. So one day it happened that that artist got a letter from the Society of Fine Arts saying that they were hosting an exhibition, so if he was interested to participate or not. He participated, and he made a very beautiful realistic painting. He forgot to send that painting, and instead he just sent to the society the paper where he tested the colors, where to put what pigment. So that piece of paper won the first prize that time. I don't know how that's possible, but people took it just that it's an abstract painting, and so it happened like that.
Yeah, that's a classic story. I mean, what can you say to that, right?
Yeah. If you ask me why I take realism, many artists in India, they told me that, why do you take realism? It's not even a kind of art. I said, what are you talking about? No, it's an art type. And they said that no, if you were just copying a photograph, it's not even an art, it's just photocopy. There is a camera who can do your work in just a minute. Why do you need to invest so much of time in that? No, I try my painting to be beyond any photograph can ever catch. That's I think the goal of realist painters nowadays. I think it's same with you also.
Yeah, to me, a good painting can elicit a much stronger emotional response than just a photograph. There's just something about it, and this is perfectly represented by an artist that I'm really fond of, and it's a guy called Edward Theodore Compton, and I think he was a German artist, and he spent lots of his time in the German and Austrian Alps, and he was a mountaineer as well, so he went and climbed lots of mountains. He did lots of first ascents as well. Wow. And what he did was he went into those places and he did these unreal paintings of them. And looking at them, they don't look like photos. They look like, I've got like a photo of his painting in my studio. I'm looking at it now. And the effect is just so much different to a photograph. It's hard to put into words, but that's kind of what an artist is always searching for. It's, finding some kind of representation of the scene in front of you that maybe you're not seeing exactly in real life, but it's almost better.
Have you seen the works of Caravaggio?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, I love him.
Painting.
I love him.
Like a guy poking a hole in.
That's so pathetic! Jesus Christ, that chest, the hole in the chest.
Yeah.
Those kind of paintings hook up so much emotion, stir up so much emotions inside me. No, I am actually too much afraid of blood. That's why maybe that happens. Caravaggio was a serial killer himself, so he painted so much horrific paintings.
Was he actually?
Yeah, he was. He was a great artist, but he was a serial killer.
I need to improve my art history. I didn't know that.
No, it's alright, it's alright. So, what do you want to convey to the young artist who is probably watching our episode today?
What do I want to convey to them? I probably want to say, paint what you want to paint. Because if you're not painting what you want to paint, then you lose interest and enthusiasm pretty quickly. But if you're painting stuff that inspires you, that makes you want to get better, and to if you want to show something to an audience, then that's what you really want.
That's great.
Paint what you want to paint.
So, why do you think art is essential in everyone's life? Not only an artist.
My personal view is it's probably not essential for everyone. I know lots of people who will go through their lives and they don't go to galleries, they don't look at art very much, but they have other things that they're interested in and they seem perfectly happy because they've got, or they just have other things that are important to them.
Like art is everywhere. Art is in cooking, art is in sculpture, everything. Writing poetry, that's also art.
Alright, yeah. So in a more broad sense, art's definitely much more important if you're talking on a wider scale.
Yeah.
I think it's just important to be creative and
actually it gets you to the flow state, which is much needed in today's society.
Yeah, but you get the flow state in other activities. Like I get that just by walking up a mountain. Sometimes I'm in this zone of just pure effortlessness, and I just feel incredibly powerful, and I can climb this mountain forever. And you get that when you're doing a painting as well. Time just flies by. You look at your watch, and it's like an hour has passed. So satisfying.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question about your mountain climbing. You have climbed so much mountains. I've checked your Instagram profile. So didn't you have any kind of accident, or didn't you fall off a cliff, break a limb, or something like that?
Did I? Maybe I've forgotten it.
Oh my God, I can't express my emotions to you properly. When I saw that video, you was looking, I think it was you, maybe. You were sitting on a cliff. Your girlfriend was up there on the hill. You were sitting on the one side there were a tree, the whole forest was there. Another side there was a what can I say? Cliff end.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would have freaked out by sitting over there.
I was a little bit scared as well. Yeah, on one side I was looking down 20 meters towards the forest. On the other side was this big steep canyon. And
canyon, that's what the word is.
Yeah, I was just perched on this wee rocky outcrop. Yeah, that I have this weird relationship with heights where I just love the feeling of being above everything and getting that view. But But at the
When you
same
get to
time,
that view, it's heavenly.
really
But
scary.
the process of going to it is very, very scary, I think.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I'm often quite scared in the mountains, and
Okay.
but I think it's worth it.
Well, I'm pretty astonished you didn't have an accident.
I mean, it's good for you, right? You get to experience these beautiful views that I capture,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't have to put your life at risk.
That's true.
Win-win.
That's
Yeah.
true. So, did the rope ever break?
No, I've never had a rope break on me. First, it requires falling in the first place, which I try to avoid. And second, well, the rope obviously has to break or kind of go over a sharp edge, and that's really rare. Ropes are really strong these days, and you replace them every 5 to 10 years. So
5 to 10 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, ropes are really strong, and they last a long time. So you're more worried about slipping when you haven't got a rope on, because quite often it's too slow to have a rope. It just takes too much time, and so you might be traveling over terrain where if you slip, then you'll probably die.
Yeah.
And you're not protected by anything, but you just have to trust yourself.
Is there anyone in your family who is a mountain climber?
Yeah, my dad does quite a bit of that. That's
right.
How I got into it, and now I've got lots of my friends into it as well. It's a really cool thing to do.
How did you even get inspired on this hobby?
What did you say?
How did you even, on the first place, get inspired to do this mountain climbing?
Well, when you live in a place like New Zealand, it's not hard to be inspired by the mountains.
That's true, very much.
There's so many of them. Like there's the spine of the South Island. It's kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of just really big mountains. It's called the Southern Alps.
Yeah, when you stay in that kind of a place, it's quite easy to get inspired. But in India, there is everything: mountains, heavy mountains, sea, everything is there. But they're so scattered, and it's a pretty big country.
Yeah, it's harder to you're not so close. You have
no, I'm neither close to the sea, neither am I to the mountains. Nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Sad. But you'd be surprised, like in New Zealand, there are so many people who just don't appreciate the beauty in New Zealand. Like, they don't go to the beach, they don't go, mountain biking, they don't go to the mountains. I guess, everyone, each their own, but New Zealanders as a whole aren't necessarily that adventurous.
Yeah.
But
so have you heard of this university, Massey University?
Yeah, it's in Wellington.
Massey University did a workshop previous year. I took part in it. It was a character design competition.
What was it?
Character design. Earth Guardian.
Character design. Okay.
Yeah, Earth Guardian character design competition.
Brilliant. Yeah, how was that?
Oh, it was pretty good. And they gifted the Wacom Kinect display tablet to the one Filipino guy. He won the competition. That was very great. Yeah.
I bet you were wanting that Wacom tablet.
I too want that.
Me too. So much. I'd love to get into the digital art world.
So have you gotten to the NFT tide that is going on in the world now? NFT.
What is that?
Non-fungible token. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, NFT is a kind of digital ownership to your artwork.
Kind of like licensing?
Kind of. Not licensing, it's lifetime, I guess. I mean...
Do you, print those products onto, T-shirts and merchandise?
No. It's... I too don't know pretty much about that because I was just getting into it. Non-fungible token, it's if you are a crypto-rich guy, you can buy that. The cryptocurrencies, bitcoins, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a currency.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, right. Awesome. Cool. No, I haven't heard of it.
Oh, there was a guy in Beeple, internet famous, that he draws digital art, and one Indian guy from Bengaluru, he just bought it for 69 million US dollars.
Wow.
That is the highest till now record.
Okay, all right. You've got big steps to follow.
Yeah. Do you follow the DeMartini Institute?
Nope.
Oh, Andrew did a Vodcast, that creative endeavor. He interviewed DeMartini, Mr. DeMartini. He talks a lot about inspiring people.
Ah, okay. Yes, the doctor.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about motivation and
Yeah.
you know, what you value.
Similar to him, Mr. DeMartini, there's another artist, another motivator. He also talks too much about artists getting into this NFT stuff right now. He is Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah.
Okay.
You will ask Andrew, and he
What is
knows
he?
a lot about that. I have heard the first time Gary's name from Andrew.
Ah, is he on the podcast as well?
Yeah, there is a Gary Vaynerchuk Vodcast. Yeah.
Must be a new one. Ah, yes. He's like an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. He helps everyone.
Yeah.
And
the
recent episodes, he was talking about that NFT stuff too much.
Okay.
He was betting that in the next 5 years, every artist will have his NFT. Oh my god, that's so interesting to hear.
Wow. Okay. I should learn more about it.
Yeah, me too. So, I will not waste any much of your time like I did earlier. Thank you for coming.
It's so fun though. No worries, Gaurav. Thank you very much for allowing me to be on your show, on your podcast. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. So, bye.
See ya.
See ya. Bye. I have shared the links to all the social media accounts of me as well as Ben Mitchell in the description down below. So if you want to follow me and Ben Mitchell on other social medias, you can click the description and check out the links. Please subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any notifications in the future from our channel. I bet that you will get a lot of value not only for the painting techniques that are used by me and other artists. You will also get the insights of other national or international artists. And I hope that inspires you. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video, and leave a like button if you really enjoyed it, and share it out with your friends whom you think it might help in some way. So, with that being said, Namaste.